Good morning, guitar players. Here we are at my weekly Facebook Live lesson. My name is Ella, but if you didn't, now you do. Every Thursday morning at 9:45 Central Time, we do just a few minutes of a little guitar fun. Maybe it's something that's new for you, maybe it's something you already know, but it's good to be reminded of it. Today we're going to do a really beautiful and universally common progression, and today we're going to do it in the key of C on the guitar and take a look at the fingering shortcuts that are available for that. Hey, there's a bunch of stuff in the description, links to my website, my YouTube channel, etc. The most important one is the one that allows you to, in about 2 seconds, sign up for my free newsletter. Only comes out once a month. It's not a pain in your neck. And it's full of fun facts and interviews and Nashville numbers charts and details on my monthly Zoom class, because every month I do Zoom on something. We just had one last night. It was a ton of fun. We had a bazillion people sign up for it. Last night's class was on the genius of John Prine. I know you don't want to miss any more classes in case you didn't know about that one. So sign up for my newsletter. We're doing our next class on Wednesday evening, February 17th. Haven't chosen the topic yet. If you've got something you're interested in or a suggestion for a class topic, please put it in the comments or send me an email or any of those things. I'd love to hear what you are interested in learning about. So today we're going to work in the key of C. Now, for a lot of guitar players, this is not the first key that they tend to play when they pick up the guitar. Oftentimes that's, for example, the key of G, or the key of D, or whatever it is. Maybe you already are pretty comfortable in the key of C, but in any case, let's take a look at this very, 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 very common chord progression that we've been loving for probably centuries. I'm not a very good historian, but for a really, really, really long time. And there's good reason for that. It's a beautiful progression. Last week, I think we did it in D, and the week before that, we did it in G. So here we are taking a look at it in the key of C. In Nashville numbers, the progression is 1, 6 minor, 2 minor, 5. Okay, 1, 1. Didn't that sound great? Now you're going to want to use your fingers in a particular way so that you don't work too hard. That's kind of a thing I'm semi-obsessed with, but for very good reason, and that is, what is the laziest way to do whatever it is I want to do on the guitar with my left hand? So let's take a look at one kind of group of fingerings that work really well together efficiently. I didn't say that your fingers naturally do this. You have to train them to be smart. Fingers are not naturally that smart, to be honest with you. Your fingers just want to kind of reset every time there's a chord change. That clearly is not the most efficient thing to do. So we have to train our fingers not to move when they don't need to. So I'm going to start with my C chord like this. All right? Now, I am then also going to put my pinky on the high string. We don't always do that. In fact, I would say we probably don't even normally do that when we're playing a C chord. But in this situation, it will be to our advantage to have the pinky on the high string, and then we're not going to move him at all. Now, he's probably going to try and run away. It's your job to keep him on a short leash. Your index finger, that's the finger on the second string, he's also not going to move. So the index and the pinky are going to stay right where they are. That alone is going to take some concentration for you if you've never thought about it. The next thing that's going to really be your main focus of attention, because it is going to move, is your ring finger. Here's my ring finger playing the bass note of my C chord. Next thing that happens to get my 6 minor chord in this key is an A minor. I just lift up my ring finger. And I play that 5th string open. There's the bass note of just that one move changes the chord from a C to an A minor. That's the power of the bass note, okay? It might feel a little weird to lift up your ring finger because now he's the only one up in the air. The other 3 fingers are still working hard. We just have to get used to that, okay? Now, the next chord is a 2 minor, and in the key of C, that's D minor. We're going to do a cheaty little shortcut. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm actually sort of proud of it. What we're going to do is take this middle finger, which is on the 4th string, and I'm just going to hop him over to the 3rd string. All right? And I'm going to use the D string as my bass note. Now that's not 100% legit strict D minor chord. I admit that. But you know what? It's close enough, and it lets me keep my pinky right where it is and my index finger right where it is. So as long as I play that D note as a bass note, it's my ear's going to go, oh, I think that's probably a D minor, or close enough, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my middle finger, because I don't need him. I'm going to, with my ring finger, stretch down to the 6th string, 3rd fret. Some of you know that that is a G note in the bass. And also, by the way, I'm going to let that ring finger lean on the 5th string, because I don't really want to hear that. And no, my middle finger's not doing anything. He's just hanging up in the air. So the ring finger is down here on the G note, 6th string. I'm just reminding you, your pinky was not allowed to move. Hope he's still hanging out on the high string, and your index finger's on the 2nd string. This chord is a G chord. It is a variation of a G chord. It's not a plain G, it's a G sus. So in this context, this is my 5 chord. And the 5 chord, by the way, is the most likely chord to sound good with a sus note in it. Just FYI. Even if you don't know what I'm talking about, just make a little mental note, because at some point we might talk about that. So here's what we have. 1 to the 6 minor, to the 2 minor, oh, 5, do it again, doesn't that sound good? You know it does. There you have it. If that doesn't make you want to write a song, you songwriters out there, I give up, because it just, I could listen to a whole lot of that. It makes a wonderful little loop, that 4 chord loop thing that our brain loves. This is a really good example of that. 1, 6 minor, 2 minor, 5. So if you're interested in seeing how do you do this in other keys, on my Facebook page here, all of these little mini guitar lessons are archived. So you can scroll back. Last week, like I said, I believe was the same progression in the key of D. And the week before that was the same progression in the key of G. So look for chord patterns, and in the description of the video, it'll say 1, 6 minor, 2 minor, 5. Best thing ever. All right, hope to see you next Thursday morning, 9:45 Central Time. We're going to do it again. I do this every week. And hope you sign up for my newsletter. Keep an eye out for what topic we decide to do for our Zoom class on Wednesday, February 17th. Whatever it is, I know it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it already. Meanwhile, stay in the groove.